Welcome to Sports Nights with Jorge.
All right, fans, welcome to Sports Night with Jorge. Once again, I'm going to go right to the nitty gritty. Here's offensive coordinator Frank Smith talking to the media in Florida about his recent rookie camp and, of course, upcoming OTAs. Just listen to this.
So how would you say the offseason program has gone, turning the page from last year and starting anew?
I would say right now it's going great. Guys are really investing in the time and utilizing all the resources they have. So far we're really pleased, and we're looking forward to finishing this week and getting in OTAs.
From a personnel standpoint, how different is it when you look out there and you don't have this guy, but you have this guy, just the different pieces to the puzzle?
I mean, in the offseason, that's kind of realistic to how the season will go, because each week there are variables with the personnel, so it allows guys to maybe do things and expand what they in season maybe wouldn't get as much reps at, so they can bank it now and use it later through training camp and all that. So that's what offseason really allows us, is to work variables with the different guys and see what everyone can do.
You guys evaluated last year. What do you think really worked well for you, and what was disappointing for you?
I think the result of the season was disappointing for where we wanted to go. There was positives littered throughout, but I think ultimately when you look at the past, it's that you really study it, look at it, and use it as far as your each present day, your motivation. So I think for us right now, we're starting over, and it's basically going back to our basics and making sure we know them inside and out to set up a good season.
When you look at some of the route running from last year, what stood out to you, and what would you look to fix in 2025?
Well, I think ultimately, as we had guys coming in and out of the lineup, I think that this year we're looking to make sure we can maintain the consistency, similar things we did in 23. So ultimately, for us, is making sure we can get that continuity with the guys, for everyone being on the same page with our expectations for fundamentals and techniques, so that way we can really use the offseason to build to get ourselves ready for the season.
Frank, you added a guy who I'm intrigued to see on Sundays in Westbrook Akine. 9 touchdown receptions, I believe it was last year. It's a pretty big number. What is he showing you so far, and how is he able to put up a number like that in Tennessee?
I think ultimately it goes to kind of who he is as a man, and you can see it's a very detailed, very process-oriented guy. Is going to be extremely reliable. I think ultimately, if you talk to the guys that knew him in Tennessee, and our exposure so far has been consistent work ethic. I think that's ultimately where he puts himself in positions to be successful, is because he really is a student of the process, making sure he's on the little things. So therefore, on Sundays, he can be reliable for the quarterback and really the rest of the offense.
All right, as you see there, he's talking about the wide receiver that we picked up from the actual Tennessee. I think it's Brooks, his name. I want to be quite sure. You see, this is what's important. It's about time that McDaniel has stepped down from making the offensive calls and plays this year. Now, that's going to be a plus for us. I'm going to say yes, it's going to be a plus for us. It takes pressure off McDaniel. Yes, it takes pressure off McDaniel. Now, is he still going to be involved in the offense? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes because that's his expertise. Okay, so one thing I want to talk about, fans, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, welcome to Sports Night with Jorge. We're talking Miami Dolphins tonight, just Dolphins for now. And looking at the roster, okay, there's no predictions because I'm not going to make team predictions. I'm going to talk about that this weekend, by the way. I got to line up everything about ESPN, Fox Network, NFL Network, how they find these numbers, how they predict their record when one single game has not been played. So that's a concern, right? Because you don't know how many wins you're going to have. Nobody knows that. Because you remember, OTAs, preseason, then you had to cut your roster from 90. Last year they had like 98, almost 100, most of the team, and they had to cut it down to 53. And then you have free agency, then you got cuts, then you got signing, then you got releases. So there's everything in common in there. But looking at the Miami Dolphins, and this is particularly for Dolphin fans, they don't have a bad roster. They don't have a good one either. So they're in between. When I say not good and not bad, it's because they need to develop these players. Unfortunately, we're coming into a season where this is it for the Miami Dolphins. Win, or your window will close, and then we know what happened. We saw what happened with San Francisco a couple of years ago. Debo was traded. Now he's gone to the Commanders. And they lost a lot of players. There were players disappointed because they made it that far, but they didn't go where they need to go because Kansas City beat them. But anyhow, see, that's a window I think is going to shut down the Kansas City Chiefs. You might disagree with me. But once again, I don't know yet until I see the roster. So back to the Dolphins. There's areas they need to improve, to work on, if they want to keep Tua Tagovailoa healthy. I have spoke to a lot of my friends out there and subscribers and people I know about Tua. There's Tua haters, there's Tua lovers, and there's Tua bandwagon. Okay. I'm not worried about the concussions. Not worried about the concussions. I'm more worried about his hip. Okay? I'm more worried about protection. Yes, we did a good draft. We got a good offensive lineman. We got the guy from Pittsburgh. And we have to develop with what we have, because right now, you know, I know they're rookies and they come into the league and they get butterflies, and you got to wait till they get more experience into the league, and that will help. The good thing is we have great running backs. We had great wide receivers. But if the offensive line doesn't protect Tua, we're in for a long season. Now, another issue with the Dolphins, if you want to call it an issue, is Tyreek Hill. Is really Tyreek Hill want to be here? And that's me saying this. Can Tyreek Hill fix his issues and problems off the field? Because we already know what he could do on the field. So there's a lot of controversial circumstances around this team right now. A lot of networks, I just name you a couple of them, ESPN, Fox, and NFL. They don't look. They look at the Dolphins like a probably 4-12 team, not good enough to win. Like I said, I'm not going to predictions because that's their prediction, and so far that I know of, they haven't played one game yet. Yeah, we want to get ourselves hyped, ready for the season. We can't wait till the NFL start 2 months from now. Basically, we got June, July, then August. We have OTAs, and we'll look at that too. We have preseason, we'll look at that too. It is so hard to find the right player for your team. We know Ramsey requested a trade. The rumors out there that Ramsey and McDaniel did not get along. And like I said, one thing about the media, man, we cannot feed ourselves what the media says. Now, the information I give you, it's what I hear from the outside. We don't know the inside. The inside part of it. That's something the Florida media right now is just, I mean, how can you you want to say this your team just because what you're seeing and you're a reporter, you're a journalist. I'm not taking nothing away from anybody. You have great podcaster here. Like I said, once again, you have great people that gives you great information. Okay, gives you accurate information. Now, yeah, as fans, as podcaster, if you love your team and you get upset, yes, but at the same time, you're taking them down and get disappointed and say they're not good enough. We just don't know that. Heck, Miami could surprise anybody this year. But what has always hit Miami? The injury bug. From day one when they start. From day one. When they open the season, they already got injuries. We haven't played one game and they already have people on the injury reserve list. So that's one thing that I ask myself, as fans and and Dolphin fans, step back, reflect. I know you're tired. I know it's been a long season. It's been 20 years since the playoff. But think about it. Tua is what, 0-1? He hasn't played in 5 years. So you can't say, well, he can't win a playoff game. You know why? Because he's always injured. He didn't play those playoff games. We almost had Skylar Thompson. If it wasn't for McDaniel not paying attention to the time clock, who knows what would have happened in that playoff against Buffalo? Now, we would have won. I don't know. We don't know that. But excuse me. But that's one thing we have to ask ourselves as fans. So, but I mean, I just feel that we have to wait, have patience, and see what this team brings to the table when the actual 53-man roster is presented. We could be here back and forth talking about the Dolphins, talking about any NFL teams, but I'm talking about the Dolphins right now. I tell fans to hold on, have patience, and let's see what happens. It's going to be an impressive 2025 season. 25-26 season, sorry. There could be a lot of full of surprises, or there could be a lot of disappointment. And we don't know that until the actual game is actually played. So all I could do is this weekend, I'm going to prepare myself. I'll be out of town next weekend. And listen, I'm going to try to get as much information of players that I believe is going to be key player for the Miami Dolphins in 2025. Now, I can name you one right now. It's Waddle. I'm not concerned with Tyreek Hill. That is an issue that McDaniels, Greer, and the owner, even the owner, has to discuss and make a decision on it before the season starts. I don't want to hear about let's go break records. Let's lead the league in passing. Let's lead the league in rushing. I don't want to hear that. What I want to hear is, can we put a W on the board? Talking to one of my co-workers today, we're talking about actually one team. And the start of the season, it was the Baltimore Ravens. When Hendry went to the sideline, I think it was a Monday night game, a Thursday night game. I'm not quite sure. You guys could refresh me. And I saw Hendry go to the sideline and speak to his coach, Harbaugh, and say, man, this is not working. I can't run. I mean, I have not enough protection up front to protect. And it's amazing how Harbaugh's, smart guy says, because remember, that offensive line of the Ravens were all rookies playing that night. So, they had probably butterflies. They were nervous. They know you're facing a team. It's a Monday night game or Thursday night game, which is a big game. It's a primetime game, if you want to call it. And look what happened. They got together. As time go by, they win the division. Pittsburgh had the division won. All they had to do is win one more game, and they couldn't. But you can see what happened at the end. These players got together, developed. You see, in Miami, I feel they can't do that. One player mess up in one game, that's it. He's not good enough. We can't take. Well, you know what? I'm a firm believer of putting a player where he belongs to play. You cannot put a offensive lineman to become a quarterback. You see what I'm saying? I know it sounds ridiculous what I just said. Let him play his position. How can you take somebody's career away when in college he played right guard and you decide to put him anywhere in the offensive line except right guard? Maybe he's not going to work for you. Well, maybe he will, but at the same time, man, get your players right. You know, you're changing a safety to a cornerback or a cornerback to a safety, you know, different positions. One goes middle of the field, one goes deep. They work together. You know, they don't blow a coverage. They work together in case the guy wants to burn them. They have good coverage. But then you want to look at speed. And, well, if I change the speed of this guy, well, you don't know that. We just don't. And we could be here all night saying this, guys. But the Miami Dolphins have I won't say issue. They have concern on the defensive line side, not on the line, more on the secondary. Okay, I think they have the best front five in the NFL. Believe it or not, getting the rookie from Michigan. Okay, I mean they boost themselves up. It's like we got another Wilkins in there, which it was Matthews. So we got another Wilkins in there. So you look at that. I mean, put pressure to the quarterback. See what happens. We got Jalen Phillip coming back. We got Chubbs coming back. Then we got Chops. That at the beginning, I remember when they were saying, "Oh, how bad he is." We thought he was going to be the same, and then he started getting at the end of the season, he started getting red hot, and he started getting sacks. So why, as a fan, why we just step back a little bit and let this play out? Now I know as a fan, he says, "Well, I've been waiting for a long time." What do you think I've been waiting? I'll be waiting just like you. When is this going to break out? I'm going to tell you what they need to stop, but that's my opinion. Of course, stop playing these players big bucks. And you think they're going to take you to a Super Bowl. They're going to take you to a playoff. It hasn't happened. And that's one thing, I tell my people, my staff, my subscribers and friends I know that have a lot of knowledge in sports. You guys think because you got Tyreek Hill, we're going to a Super Bowl. That's not true. I got Debo Sanders, we're going to a Super Bowl. That's not true. It takes the whole 53-man roster. It takes your whole ball club to work together as a team and take it to the next level. But we mess up one time and we think we're the worst team. Now, I tell you, Miami media needs to stop that. Needs to go out there and stop saying how bad we are. So one player is bad, the whole team is bad? That is not true. That don't make any sense, guys. But anyhow, I'm going to make this a short video. It's a Dolphin video. I'm a Dolphin fan. I'll tell you, 71, 72, I was a kid. Listen, I went to the Super Bowl. I'm not Super Bowl. I went to the playoffs against Dan Fouts, Kevin Winslow, when they beat us with that field goal. Let me tell you what I did at that time. I used to work in the Orange Bowl, and I used to clean the Orange Bowl after the game because on Saturday the Hurricanes used to play, and then we had to have the game ready for that Sunday. It's incredible, man. I miss all that, and through all that I missed, man. I miss a lot of players. I met Bob Greasy. These are big players. Don Strock, Don Shula, how calm and collective he was. Very smart coach. Those were the good times. Then you Dan Marino came in, and then, wow, man, what a season for Dan Marino. Too bad, no Super Bowl. Yes, we all say the same thing, and you hear Danny talking in social media or anywhere he gets interviewed. Will you trade your career for a ring? He said, heck yeah, anytime. And I tell you, from day one, people are going to disagree with this. I think for me, he's still the best quarterback in this league. He's retired, of course. Now, I'm not taking anything from Brady. or Drew Brees. Because there's a lot of good quarterbacks out there too that had great season. Heck, we could have had Drew Brees, but somebody decided from college not to get him, and then he turned us down and went back to college. And you know what I'm talking about, Nick Saban. It's like this team. I won't say it has a curse. It's just a freaking nightmare, man. They can't get it together. You got a Hall of Famer, Lawrence Taylor, Hall of Famer, Zach Thomas, Hall of Famer, Brian Cox. I mean, we had team. I mean, we had a heck of a team. Kimbo Camber, Bon Howard, the safety, the Blackwood brothers. I mean, I could go on and on, guys. And imagine, then we have owners, the Wayne Huizingas, the Joe Robbies. Now we got Roth? Stephen Roth, whatever his name is. Yeah, there you go, Stephen. So, I mean, we have good owners. We had owners that pay. I mean, Stephen pays pretty good. The other two owners were kind of tough to get players in here, but hey, they did the best to get players. We have Cam Cameron, great defensive player. Sometimes you pay the bucks, but sometimes, you know what? You're playing the bucks, but your players are not producing. So I think this is where I think the conversation of Ramsey and McDaniel got into it, because McDaniel was trying to say, man, you a leader. You get paid the big bucks. You should go out there and tell these people something. And maybe he got that the wrong way. I mean, I just imagine he probably misunderstand what he's trying to say. But that's part of football, guys. Either you work as a team, you work together, or you don't. And if you don't, you got to go. Unfortunately, yeah, it hurts. And what do? We want the best. And then, who suffered? The fan base. Why? Because we buy jerseys, we go to games, we buy memorabilia, we buy cards, you name it, everything. Then you're buying a product. You're buying a guy's T-shirt, jersey. You're doing all this, and you expect, wow, these 11 men on the field, 11 on defense, 11 on offense to win a game. And they can't even win a game. Now, I know it's hard to win every game in the NFL. Yes, I believe that. And now they extended it to 17, and they're looking at 18 games. And all that's just revenue, guys. That's all it is, revenues. So, but I want you guys to understand that. But anyhow, I'm going to leave it to that. And like I tell you, I have a lot of stuff coming up the weekend. We got Memorial Day weekend coming up on Monday. I'll be traveling on the weekend of next week. And I'll be busy, but I'm going to be in contact with you guys. I'll be live. I'll get my stuff together. And hopefully, you guys could subscribe to the channel, go into the chat. I just had one of my subscribers about videos. Watch time. He's at 945 subscribers. People not watching the video. That is a difficult thing, man. Listen, subscribers, I admire all my subscribers. I love all my subscribers. But imagine, I have to look at 806 videos. And listen, I do. Now, at one day, I take a time to look at one video, and then another day, and I help my because we always support one of my other subscribers, because it's fair across the board. But anyhow, I want to thank you so much to watch this channel, to subscribe to this channel. We're talking Dolphins tonight, and we're going to be talking sports the rest of the week. One sport I want to talk about, congratulations to the Florida Panthers. They go to Carolina and beat them. Okay, convincingly. I mean, a lot of fights in that game. I know it's going to get physical. Carolina opened the floodgate by hitting the players early, and I guess that really pumped up the Florida Panthers and said, hey, wait a minute, this is the way we're going to go. And it was a rough night for the Hurricanes, but you still got game 2 tomorrow. And then another thing, good news, Oriole fans, they finally won a game. They won extra innings today, 11 innings, and they beat the Milwaukee Brewers 8-4. Rushman, the catcher, finally broke through with a 3-run homer in the top of the 11th and extended the lead. And listen, they were going back and forth. Don't know what's wrong with Batista. He came in. He gave up the tying run. Sagano, once again, man, he pitched pretty well. And once again, he gave up the tying home run also. So, listen, congratulations to the manager and to the Orioles. And hopefully this can start a new beginning. But anyhow, once again, thank you so much. And remember, S&J all the way. And God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Welcome to Sports Nights with Jorge.